Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of the channel. I am Mad Dog Mike. Today we will be doing a game recap of the Celtics-Lakers game from last night. Before I get into that, if you enjoy this video, drop a like button down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a subscribe as well. And turn the bell notifications up so that every time I go live you get a notification. I appreciate that. So, going over last night's game, the Lakers pulled out a 1-point win over the Celtics. It was a close game pretty much all the way through. Normally how I like to do this, I like to do like a three-part to the video. I like to go over the good for the Celtics. A second part, go over some stuff that they need to work on. And then the third part, doing like a little preview for their next game. So to start, it wasn't a bad performance by the Celtics by any means. I mean, you're facing one of the top teams in the NBA. I thought that the defense was a lot better last night than the previous season. I think we were letting up between 110 and 120 points per game. To hold the defending champions to 96 points is a huge win. Another great performance last night from the starting lineup. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both lived up to their expectations. So to start, I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to give the player of the game for the Celtics-wise every video. So the player of the game from last night, in my opinion, could go one of two ways. I'm leaning towards Jason Tatum was the player of the game last night for the Celtics, and I mean he scored 30 points last night. Was terrific in the fourth quarter. Really kept the Celtics in it. I think they were down like 7 points with like 2 minutes left. Some clutch mid-range shots really kept them in this game, so I thought he played really well. The only other person I could have thought giving it to would have been Jaylen Brown, who scored 28 points last night. Both of them they played really well. I was thinking maybe around 30 to 35 points for both players last night, but overall they played well. So I think even though you lost last night, the fact that you were able to hang with the defending champions just goes to show how good this team can be. So the only issue that I have really with a couple issues. First issue is transition defense. I feel like they didn't get back on defense enough, which has resulted in a lot of fast break points for the Lakers. I think that's a mistake that they just need to clean up. I think they're just arguing with the referees, begging for fouls instead of hustling back. I don't know if that's just a lack of experience, that it's not something that clicks right in their mind right away. I guarantee you Brad Stevens will be working on that with them and try to fix that as the season goes on to get ready for the playoffs. The only other thing, other than that, is the bench. The bench was just non-existent last night. The bench played 72 minutes and scored 15 points. I mean, that's just, you got to get better. You have to get better contributions from your bench if you're gonna hang with the tough guys in the league. I know Marcus Smart went down with an injury last night. What they're calling a calf strain. It looked like it was an Achilles injury. Best case scenario is that it was a calf strain. It looks like he's gonna miss about 1 to 2 weeks, which is a huge loss. He's been a vital part to that offense and defense. I mean, he's a real tough guy. So he'll be missed for those 2 weeks. But I think that somebody needs to step in. I think that starts with Jeff Teague. I feel like Jeff Teague, I was expecting a better shooting numbers for him this season, which just has not been there. Aaron Nesmith is another one that comes to mind. I feel like he could. I mean, when we drafted him, they were saying he was a sharp shooter, could really shoot the three ball. The minutes just haven't been there for him, And so I really think that going forward, within the next couple of weeks, those guys are going to have to step it up if the Celtics are going to have a chance. It's not going to be just Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum the whole night. One thing that's really cost the Celtics last night, and I don't think that this is something that we should worry about long term, is Kemba Walker. I mean, he shot 1 for 2 from the field, 0 for 5 shooting threes, and finished with 4 points. I mean, I think that, I don't know if that was just him working his way back from his injury, but I do think that he'll do better than that. So I think that was just a rough night for him. One other thing I wanted to get into, as far as last night. Towards the end of the game, I don't know if any of you watched it, but it was the last play of the game when Kemba Walker stripped Anthony Davis. I'm curious to get you guys' insight on it, so leave your opinion in the comments below. But if you're Brad Stevens, do you call a timeout after that? Because, I mean, I've been going back and forth on it. I know fast break, you have the numbers, draw a foul, try to do that. But I feel like when the game is on the line like that, I want the ball in my best player's hands. And I feel like your best player is Jason Tatum. I mean, like I said, he balled out in the fourth quarter. So I want the ball in Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown's hands. And the fact that it found Kemba Walker, who had a great shot. I mean, he was that's a mid-range shot that he could easily sink. And then Daniel Tice on the putback, which was just short. I think that I think if you're Brad Stevens here, you might call that timeout. I know then all of a sudden it's 5 versus 5 with 8 minutes left, but at least you have a play drawn up, So I'd be curious to see what you guys think about that. I saw today that the Celtics are looking to acquire J.J. Redick from the Pelicans, and I think that's big. I think we really need the veteran depth on the bench, especially with Smart out for 1 to 2 weeks, and Peyton Pritchard. I mean, he's out for probably the next 7 to 10 days. So I'm wondering where the offense is going to come from this team. I mean, you're starting. It's probably going to be Semi Ojeleye starting for Smart over the next 2 weeks. Which Semi Ojeleye has really improved this season as far as shot selection, making shots. He's been great on defense. I thought he played great defense on LeBron last night. LeBron was averaging, I don't have the exact number, but I think it was between 27 and 30 points per game, and LeBron was held to 21 points last night. So I thought, like I said, the Celtics defense really impressed me last night. I know that Brad Stevens was saying prior to the last game that they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Even Danny Ainge was saying that their defense is just not good right now. So the fact that they were able to come out and have a strong defensive effort last night, I think that the future is bright there. I know it's only one game, but it is against the Lakers. So I think that that's something that we took a foot in the right direction here. So before, I know this isn't a very long video, but I just wanted to give a quick little recap on it and my thought process behind it. So to preview Tuesday night's game, the Celtics play the Warriors. Another great shooting team. Steph Curry's on a whole nother world, and then you got Draymond Green, who is just balling out right now. It's a 10 o'clock start time. I'll be interested to see the starting lineup that Brad goes with. Does he go double big? Does he go back to the Daniel Tice, Robert Williams double big lineup? I thought also Daniel Tice played really well last night. 14 points. Had a 2 for 2 shooting threes. I think he went 2 for 2 shooting threes. So it'll be interesting to see, and I'm curious also who's going to be at the starting center. Because, I mean, Tristan Thompson is the veteran. I mean, he gets you the rebounds, which you brought him in for. But I wouldn't sleep on Robert Williams. I mean, he's really been impressing me off the bench. He's that young, brass-looking guy who, very energetic. So I'd like to see Robert Williams get a little bit more starting time. But I feel like if you're going to start Tice, you're going to start him at the 4. I mean, with the fact that he can shoot, Daniel Tice, I know he gets into foul trouble a lot, which is the advantage of having 3 bigs. Whether or not they upgrade that big as the season goes on is anybody's guess. But I really like the 3-man rotation big that the Celtics have right now. But yeah, I feel like Daniel Tice is somebody that you want to start at the 4. He can, like I said, he can shoot, he can knock down the 3. Mid-range shot is good. A little bit faster than Tristan Thompson and Robert Williams. So it'll be interesting to see there. So, but yeah, back to the preview for Tuesday night's game. I think the Celtics defense needs to come out and have another strong showing. I know that's asking a lot, seeing how you just lost Marcus Smart, who's the best defensive player on the Celtics in my opinion. So other guys are going to have to step up, especially off the bench. Semi Ojeleye, Aaron Nesmith, guys like that. I don't know if Tremont Waters is going to get any play. I'd love to see Tremont Waters get some more minutes. I'm a huge fan of Tremont Waters. So it'll be interesting to see there how the Celtics really go as far as replacing Smart over the next 2 weeks. I know, like I said, that they were talking to the Pelicans for JJ Redick. I think that he'd be a great addition, whether it's off the bench or filling in for Smart and Pritchard. Great knockdown 3-point shooter for Redick. So, but so yeah, the Warriors. I mean, they don't have Klay Thompson. Steph Curry, like I said, is just absolutely balling out right now. Could nail a three at any given moment. And then you have Draymond Green, um, who is just he's got that attitude that can really pump up a team to win any game he starts in. So yeah, like I said, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are both just absolutely amazing right now. I think that they're both averaging 27 points per game. So I would be shocked if Brown and Tatum both don't score 30 points come Tuesday night. That Warriors team isn't the same team that we've seen in the past, especially in the playoffs. So so yeah, it'll be interesting. The Celtics, with their lost Lakers, they fall to 10-8. I think they're fourth in the East. So I think that they're going to be all right. I think that they're going to finish within the top three at the end of the season. Um, but yeah, my opinion going forward, I think that the starting lineup for the Celtics will probably end up being Tatum, Brown, Walker, and then what do you do from there? You go Tice and Tristan Thompson. Do you go Tice at the center and start Ojale? I know they've done that when they were missing Tatum because of COVID. So it'll be interesting to see what Brad does there. I'm really curious. Like I said, drop any comments below. Your thought process on last night's game. Are you happy about it? Even though they suffered a loss, are you still just like this team just isn't good enough? Just let me know what you think. So yeah, this is like I said, it's not a very long video. I just want to give a quick little recap. Like I said, this is the first video of the new channel. I'll be doing recaps to every Celtics game for the rest of the season. And any other sports stuff, some news and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Have a good night.